All right, I think we are live. I think we're live. If you can hear me, drop a comment down below. Obviously, just going to support you guys in your Amazon business. I want to give you a little bit of an update on what's get it right, Tom. I'm losing my voice. I want to give a little bit of update on my business. And my God, I had some dangerous times last week, and in particular around cash flow, managing my business, and should we say some real worries. I'm going to do a video about it. So if you guys have got any questions, do drop them down below. I'm here to help out. But I just want to talk about, or should we say, 1 second. I will talk about what's my cash flow situation. So if you've got questions, drop them down below. I'm just going to turn my headphones off 1 second. There. If you ever have both headphones, they connect to both of them, and I want to make sure that sometimes I get calls from suppliers coming through, and I need to make sure that I'm not like that cancels the call. So guys, if you've got questions down below, but I want to talk about my cash flow situation last week. So if anyone doesn't know, I have a cash flow sheet, which is amazing. It works brilliantly, and it worked absolutely perfectly last week. Unfortunately, my team didn't actually read it. So what happened? What was the problem? So if I kind of give you a fundamental, one of our direct debit payments bounced for £150,000, which is like incredible. It's a lot of cash, and that was to Amex. And as a result, we didn't make that bank payment that we needed to make, which was a big problem. Now, what happened, and I'll summarize it here. So if you guys have ever got any questions, drop them down below about your Amazon business, but I'll talk about that as well. But long story short is we're training a new admin VA, which is absolutely fine. And that new admin VA added in our Amazon loan to the cash flow. And I said, whoa, we've only applied for the Amazon loan. We haven't actually got the Amazon loan yet. And then what happened was that I asked them to redo the calculations on the cash flow. Came back the second lot. Unfortunately, the admin VA who was checking that admin, the trainee, didn't check the second version properly, just said, yeah, looked good, fine. Looked at the bottom, didn't actually look at the cash amount. And the net result was that it was going to show that we were going to be short about £3,000 on Thursday and Friday because we had cash to come out, which was obviously we had to pay for our bills. And then what happened was obviously on the Tuesday, went through, Wednesday fine, Thursday fine. And on Friday, the issue came was that Amex tried to take 150,000 from our bank account, and there was only like 147,000 in the bank account, including the overdraft, and bang, it bounced. I was like, oh my God, like absolutely, oh my God. And long story, and the one thing which I will say, and guys, if you're joining on Instagram or if you're on Facebook or whatever, do just drop a comment. Obviously, I'll let you know if I can see it. Thank you for the love heart, by the way. And basically that bounced. But long story short is that we didn't check it the second time it happened, which was something so important. So and that's something really important that you need to do. Make sure you're checking your balance cash sheet every single week or every single day, or we do it once a week, which is really important. But when we recalculated, we actually, the cash flow sheet told us we were going to be out of cash on those days. And guess what? We're out of cash on those days. It was like, oh my God. So long story short is that the payment bounced. I contacted Amex and said, hey, Amex, like, I'm really sorry this bounced. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? And they were like, don't worry, we can take the payment again. I was like, I'm not so worried about the second payment. Thank you so much for letting me know. My worry is the black mark on our account. And they said, look, we were going to take the payment on the 24th, I think it was. It isn't due until the 28th, so you haven't lost yet. But we will take a second deposit of direct debit on the 29th it is, so I think it'll be tomorrow. And so long as that payment goes through, you're going to be fine. So luckily enough, no kind of like black marks, no problems on our Amazon or Amex account or credit file. But what we are seeing is that we just have to be really mindful on that cash flow sheet. That's something so important. So just be mindful for that. I think that's a really, really good kind of point, is that do your cash flow definitely, but don't just do it willy. You've got to really make sure it's fine. So we're going to tweak it and just make it a little bit better. But actually, if you're going to do the cash flow, check it, like really check it. And we didn't do that. So my mistake. There's like 4 people who could have checked it and we didn't. It was only the new trainee. So complacency is a problem. It's something really dangerous. We had that problem in our business, and I talked to my ops manager and I said, look, at the end of the day, you get what you tolerate. And at the end of the day, we were, we weren't, should we say, we weren't tolerating, or we were tolerating something really bad. That's fine. Right. So give me 2 seconds. I think we're just, if we are live, do say hi. Steve says hi. Hey, Stephen. Let me know if there's anything I can help you out with. I'm just kind of checking some things. I think we're live on Instagram. Let me just quickly check. So Stephen, thank you very much. Hi. Warren says, thank you for passing on these golden nuggets. Hey, Warren. I'm sorry, I didn't go live at the end of last week. Why? For the simple fact that I had cash flow problems. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get a black mark on my credit file. I use a lot of debt in my business. I cannot be having black marks on my credit file. I was like going ballistic at my staff. I was like, why have we not paid? I wasn't actually doing that. I was just like, guys, our cash flow sheet showed us we're going to go WTF. What happened? Why? Why did this happen? This is a big problem. So something really, really important there. And I think something to really mindful of, like, even with great systems and processes, if you don't follow them properly, your business isn't going to work. And unfortunately, we had a problem around that. That's something to be mindful of. I just checked. Yeah, we are live on Instagram. So if you guys are on Instagram, do say hi. Also, I can see you as well. Let's kind of jump through. Dan's, hey, Thomas, I'd like to ask how you are able to spend that much of a budget within a day, because some suppliers with leads have a limited amount of units. So I'm not sure if you're buying the leads that we have, if that makes sense. But I do, one second, I'm just going to make a quick screenshot, save that one. That's fine. Yes, I'm not sure if you're buying the leads that I provide, and obviously they are my own leads. So the one thing which we'll do is to say that, how does it work? Like, my team will be buying lots of deals. They'll be buying lots of deals. They'll probably use multiple accounts. It'll be like Thomas 1 at Fast Track FBA, Thomas 2 at Fast Track FBA, Thomas 3. So we do that kind of hack. What else do we do? So also, a lot of suppliers do just allow us to buy quite a lot. Like, last week, we probably didn't spend so much. We kind of ran out of cash. We were waiting on the Amazon loan, which has now it got approved on Friday. So if I kind of give you an idea, last week, yeah, we only spent 44,000, 26% ROI, 44,000, 11,000 gross profit estimation, which is fine, no problem. Opolt on Instagram said hi. Opolt, say hi. I've got you. I can see you. Give you a big wave. Hello. But we generally just buy. Like, my team will be buying a lot of products. But the one thing which we will say, we've had a bit of like I don't want to be honest here. We've had a bit of negative feedback about some of our leads. Why? Because we don't really go after the kind of like the suppliers where you really struggle. Like, at the end of the day, my leads list is from my own business. And at the end of the day, I want to grow a big business. I don't want to buy like ones and twos of really great products from Boots. Because at the end of the day, I can't buy enough. I have like, we normally have like 60 to 70,000 a week that we have to spend, or we can spend, and you just can't spend that on Boots. It's not going to work. So we don't source from like the typical suppliers. We try and buy in bulk. But Danson, I hope that makes sense. And obviously, let me know if you're buying from our own leads list or if you're buying from your own. Like, again, if you're buying from Boots, it's not going to work. Like, that's really not going to work. So let me know. Facebook user says hi. Hey, Facebook user. Also, as well, we've got I'm Jack Rees on the Instagram. Hey, Jack Rees. I'm Jack Rees. Good to see you. Guys, if you want to know, Fast Track FBA VA Academy 2.0 is open doing business. That's my service where if you're looking to hire a VA, we find, hire, and train a VA for you. And if you're not happy within the first 3 months, at any point, you get a replacement for your VA at any point, or your money back. No questions asked. Check it out, fasttrackfba.com/VA. Link is down below. Fast Track FBA user, Fast Track FBA user, let me know who you are. Let me know if you've got any questions and if anything I can help you out. FBA Gangster has just joined on Instagram, and my God, FBA Gangster sounds like a great name. Hashtag loving that. I just want to say a big thank you to the guy or the girl who's given me a big love heart. If you don't know, Emma Louise Hamilton is back on the YouTube. I've seen she's done a really good job releasing a 7-figure video. Do check that out. I love Emma. I've gone and met her many times, seen her unit. Yeah, like a couple of this time last year I was there, literally this time last year. So I don't know. We got on Instagram, Jamie Ledge01 said, will Boots ever let me buy again? I brought a lot of units over the last month or so, and now they cancel every order I made. Yeah, I hate to say it, Boots really don't like resellers. They really don't. And like, you're like, come on, man, I'm spending so much money with you. Like, surely if I'm spending so much money with you, then obviously you want my business, don't you? They don't. They really don't. I think they have a contract with like all the suppliers that they'll be proactive against resellers. So yeah, Jamie's kind of said like I've used different delivery address, payment options, etc. Still no different IP address, different Chrome browsers. different computer, all that stuff, different shipping address, different bank cards, names. Like you literally need to be a completely different person, and then you might be able to get it through. So Jamie Ledger01 on Instagram. Yeah, I really understand. By the way, this is why we don't source leads from Boots, because once you get flagged, like you'll never do it. And by the way, you get flagged if you order like 3. You're like, oh my god, I'm trying to do a business here. I'm not trying to buy for myself. That's what they want. FBA Gangster said, yeah. James Dash said hi, and Miss Fortruns hi as well. We got Stephen. How do you get on the leads list? fasttrackfba.com/leads, or just Fast Track FBA website, and you can just go to like services, lead services. That would be helpful as well. Think like that's it. Like really, we do UK leads and USA leads. They are the exact leads that I have in my own business. 1 second. Definitely not COVID. And they're exact leads that I have in my business. And the idea is that you, what do you call it? Yeah, they're the leads in my business, and they're not going to be like your Boots ones, because we just can't buy enough. But I do think Stacy said, bless you. Thank you, Stacy. You're the best. Thank you, Stacy. Gold stars for you. Let's kind of jump back. How do you get the leads? Yeah, they are the leads for my own business. And like the one thing which I will say is they're the leads before my purchasing managers review them. So everything my sources find, in order to like, we submit it into a web application, and then the web application puts the leads into our leads list and then sends them off to the purchasing manager at the same time. So they kind of go 2 ways. So you're seeing them before my purchasing manager sees them. That makes sense. I'm going to jump through. FBA Gangster says, bless you. In your opinion, what are the to know which brands are safe to sell? At fasttrackfba.com, we have resources in the brand checker. By the way, we keep a list of all the brands that we like and we don't like. So we do that. You can use Chrome extensions like IP Alert is fine. We have our own list we've developed, we look at, and obviously we know. So we use that as our big check, like fasttrackfba.com/resources, or go to the resources tab, and it'll be like the brand checker. So you'll see that. So we know which brands we stay away from. It's like a really important point. But I think that's good. Gav7 has joined. Let's kind of jump back over to the YouTube. Danzen, if you only had 6-figure USA Amazon business, would you take home, including money, including taxes, grant, financial freedom? I have a 7-figure Amazon business in the USA. There, that one, there. That's my USA business. We've actually done like 1.3, I think it is. Not like, this is a bit old. This is what I think it's September, that figure, and that was March. Yeah, we don't like what we're on like 3.4 in UK now. Don't get wrong, the UK one's kind of gone up and then back down again. That peak, and I don't know if you can see it, that peak in March and the bottom one, that's 400,000 over. It's like 430,000, which is really good. I'm really pleased with that one. That's December. We're not going to do that this year. My God, we're like trailing well behind. Profitability is actually higher though. We're way more profitable now, but we're just not making as much money. This one, the USA business, operating about 10%. So 100,000, yeah, fine, no problem. You know, would your take home if you grant financial freedom? Let me put it this way. Right now, I travel the world. I've flown like, I couldn't tell you. I spent nearly 2 months in Marriott hotels this year. So I'd probably say that would be classified as financial freedom. And I've been a lot of places. So I definitely say that I have an element of it. But again, what's your financial freedom? If it's like Lamborghinis, and no, I wouldn't say that's right. I hope that makes sense, Danzen. But yeah, like definitely, you can do it on a 6-figure business. You can do 7-figure Amazon business. That's a 7-figure one. We did that in 14 months. Really good. Stephen, thanks. Stacy says, bless you. Thank you, Stacey. On the Instagram, Shaman Master. Hey, good to see you as well. Guys, if you've got a question, drop them down below. Is there a way the net profit could be more than 7? Yeah, 100%, like 100%. So let's put it crystal clear. This is my USA business. We do about 10% net on that. This one's my UK business here. We do about 5% on this. So really the profit margin isn't too much. Now, the one thing which I will say is, if you follow my journey, like I use, okay, so UK business, this is 3 million. I use a lot of staff, so you have a lot of VAs, and I use a lot of other people's money. So I have like, other than the profits generated within the last 12 months, there is none of my money in this business. None, like literally none. The asset sheet shows, like the balance sheet shows very little of like my cash, and that's only profits generated. Why? I pull it out and bump it into there. Then I kind of play with it myself, you know, like to have a nice life. But in this business, I use other people's money. And the reason why I do that is because Amazon give me massive loans, they have massive credit cards, but that has an interest cost and that eats a lot of capital. Also, as well, the other one is I really like the financial freedom thing. And my kind of goal is that I don't really want to be getting back into the day-to-day too much. I'm happy to jump in, but I don't want to do too much. So what does this mean? I probably have too many staff. So I have 6 admin VAs, I think 8 purchasers across 2 companies, across these 2 companies, 6 admin VAs across 3 companies, and obviously we run Fast Track FBA as well. So, like, I'm all about building teams. I'm a big believer in that unless someone else can do it for you, you haven't got a business, you've got a job. And that's why I have VAs, and that's why we did the VA Academy. We've hired over 550 VAs for our clients. It really works, and I'm really a big believer in building teams. And at the end of the day, like, I don't mind making less margin, so long as I can have a better quality of life. Like, let's call it, this is like $1 million. That's 100,000 a year. Like, my God, you could get it to 150,000 and I could work more, but like, I'd rather lose 50,000 and work 2 hours a week than save an extra 50,000 and have to work 40 hours a week. I hope that kind of makes sense. It's a really good question, but we can do it so much better. On the gram, Shaman Meister, how do you monitor how many hours your VA is doing? Great question. If you are interested about how many hours my VA is doing, I'm going to tell you a really top secret here. I'm going to tell you a top secret. Don't care. You don't. Let me ask you 2 questions, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you a scenario, and then you're going to understand. Pointy pen example. Okay. Scenario 1: VA works 8 hours a day and finds you 2 deals that you can buy. Woohoo! VA works 4 hours a day and finds you 10 deals that you can buy. Now, they're quite a bit more extreme. So VA is not working enough, 4 hours a day, gets 10 deals. VA is working 8 hours a day, only gets 2 deals. Which one would you be happier with? Well, you'd be happy with the 10 deals that you can buy, because the answer is that, yes, while we think about hours worked, we're really more interested in output of those hours. Now, the one thing which we'll say is, obviously, like, if my team can deliver the output they require in less time, then I have no problem with that. But the one thing you got to understand is that's what you're really interested in. You don't really care about how many hours your VA works. What you really care about is the results they can deliver. My God, if your VA can deliver results in 6 hours a day, fantastic. Like, fine, no problem. But you're not going to get rid of them. But if they're doing 8 hours a day and only getting 2 deals, then you're probably going to get rid of them because they're not good enough. That's not to say that they're bad people. It just says they're probably not right for this job. So what do you understand when you have that kind of analogy? You understand that it's results which matter, not hours worked. And that's why monitoring hours isn't really a very good metric to think about. And even, like, I don't talk about my hours. I don't track them. We don't do any tracking in my business at all. We have people signing in and out because we just want to know where they are, but we don't really care about hours. We care about results. And that's what we're measuring them on. And hopefully what you want, and by the way, in the VA Academy, we have the MBA workbook. In the MBA workbook, I share all my bonus schemes, and you want a bonus scheme which is aligned with your VA working more to get more results, and as a result they'll get paid more, performance related pay. So it's incentivizing people together to do better work. So Shaman Master on Instagram, how many hours, how do you monitor your hours? We don't, is a long story answer. FBA Gangster, what about if seller support says OA receipts are not good enough? Keep trying. By the way, OA receipts, you need to message them, say invoice. Invoice is what you need. You can just contact the supplier and ask for an invoice, not an OA receipt. Receipts are probably right. They're probably right. But we've, like, by the way, we've done $1 million in sales in the US. We have, what else have we done? $1 million sales in the US. We had 0 IP complaints. Not to say we don't get IP complaints. We get a lot of them, probably 1 a week. But we have 0 on the account. Why? Because we're very good at fighting them. UK, we have 3 right now, and we probably get 1 a week as well there. You can see the volume that we're doing, 3 million, it's like 150,000 something. So yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So Shaman Meister said some deals are good and some are not so good. I probably went at 3 or 4. So yeah, great point, Shaman Meister. Let's jump back over to questions on the YouTube. Stacy, bless you as well. Thank you for your wonderful words of, she say, blessing me while I sneeze, hashtag not COVID. Let's answer your question. Do you have any suggestions on what products to start with that are profitable? I brought items I don't have a UPC, thinking that I'd create a listing and pay for a market. Well, have a quick look. Yeah, and you said here in the US, I'm starting with Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Walmart. Yeah, long story short, Stacey, look, I'm going to recommend a top tip for you is You can go down the listing creation route and pay for barcodes and stuff. It's a really long process. I probably wouldn't advise doing that to start with. If you're going to be buying from the likes of like Marshalls, TK Maxx, or TJ Maxx and Walmart, then my advice would just be go find something which is already selling. It's already got a listing. You can add yourself to that listing, and it's going really well. SAS, I really like Seller app. They have a mobile app. You can scan it. You can go into Seller Central on your phone, use the Amazon app to scan that as well. You know, SAS will tell you like the profitability. You really like there's 3 core metrics you're looking at when you do any deal analysis. Number 1, profitability. Number 2, I look at ROI. Some people in the US, I know they really like margin. I prefer ROI. Generally, if you're buying products over about $15, ROI is quite a good metric. If you're doing very low value items, then margin is probably a better one to consider. But anything over about $15, you're okay. ROI is a good metric. And then finally, the final one is sales per month. And you can estimate that on sales rank. That's a really good one. You really want those 3 things. If it's not profitable, there's no point buying it. If you get a great ROI and the profit's really tiny, like you can buy it for 1 cent and resell it for 3 cents, woohoo, like 3 cents profit, it's just not worth your time. So actual cash profits and ROI are important. But if you're going to spend $100 and you're going to make, you know, if you're going to spend $1,000 to make $5, it's probably not worth it. Your ROI is too small. And then the final one is it doesn't matter how good the ROI or the profitability is. If it isn't selling, it's just you'll never realize it. It's kind of like, oh, I've got this water bottle here. It's amazing. It's currently selling on Amazon for $1 million. You're like, well, it might be listed for $1 million, but it ain't selling for $1 million. I promise you that. So while you're doing your calculations off $1 million, you ain't going to sell it. So that's the point. It's got to be selling. So that's the real point. So hope that kind of makes sense. But I'd really look for products already selling. I wouldn't go down the UPC listing creation route. I'd just start scanning stuff if you're going out and doing it. Or if you're going online, again, scanning. SAS has got an Chrome app as well. I like it as well. Let's kind of jump through. Stacey, let me know down below if that answers your question. Give me a love heart or a thumbs up and just let me know if, and obviously that answers your question, because otherwise I'll give you more detail. And if not, tell me what's the problem. Ral Mangro joined, and N Keith and Showstopper12 joined on Instagram. Hey guys, I'm off to Cancun in 2 weeks. I'm really excited. We're going to go spend 330,000 Amex points to go all inclusive for 5-star. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. My girlfriend's very excited as well. So I will do a live stream from the swimming pool. Let's go on to Danzen. If you want to do wholesale, what's the desired estimated sales per month you should go for when looking at product? Really up to you. I think my advice would be you probably want to do a minimum of 10 sales per month that you can get. So let's do a good analogy. Let's say, for example, the listing is selling 20 per month, but there are 5 sellers all about the same price. You're not going to get those 10 sales a month, because it's 5 divided by, 5 already plus you, that's 6. You're probably going to get 4 each tops. So it's not going to be right. But if it's 10 sales per month and there's no one on it, or no FBA and you can get in there, then I'd probably jump on that. So that could be an opportunity. But again, there's another metric I would kind of think about, not just sales per month. I think 10's a good minimum that you should go for. The other metric, and I'm going to just kind of put it out there, and I don't do wholesale, so I need to kind of share with you. The metric that I'd look at is the monthly sales velocity multiplied by the monthly sales velocity I can get, multiplied by the purchase or sale price, should be at least $500, if not $1,000 or pounds. Now, the reason why I say that is because if it's like selling, let's call it 100 units per month, and it's selling for, I don't know, 50 units per month, it's selling for $5 each. Well, that's $250. Well, look, at the end of the day, it's $250. You're going to be buying it for like, what, 125, selling for 250. You haven't really got enough purchasing power to negotiate good prices with wholesale. So I think at the end of the day, you want the listing velocity to be enough and the volume to be enough, so you can probably ideally hit $1,000 in purchase price per month per product. Why? Because when you're at that amount, you can start to negotiate some discounts, which is really where wholesale comes in. It's about relationships. I'll take these products, they'll work. But I don't like just sales per month isn't probably a metric I'll look at. Danzen, let me know down below if that is helpful. Who have we got? Mo and Different joined, and Semrep G joined on Instagram. I'm drinking coffee. If you like coffee, let me know down below. I love coffee. I'm drinking it black, really black. No milk, nothing. No sugar, no spender. Oh my God, I really need this. I had like 3 hours sleep last night. Couldn't sleep. Oh, I do love coffee. Right, let's go through. Are your products all OA, or do you do wholesale product? Okay, so all OA, 1 million. It's at 1.2 now. That's all online arbitrage. This is about 3.4 now, or 3.3. We're kind of going a bit down. I won't lie, we're going down now. You can read the graphs. They're a bit. I think that's March, so it's not as great. It's a bit old. I should update it one day. There is some wholesale in here. I think there's about £140,000 worth of wholesale, but we stopped it in Q4. So majority OA, all OA. Don't do private label at all. I just think it's a different game. Yam Ranson 68 on Instagram. Hello. Facilities BCP phone. Wow, that's great. Hi Tom. Currently doing a monthly revenue of 4,000, so didn't feel I was ready for the Seller Academy. Cool, not a problem. Do you have any advice to help me scale to say 30,000 a month when it be ready? Yeah, great question. So by the way, if anyone wants to know, Seller Academy, we've just closed. Is my private group. We take about 20 people, and I want to teach them exactly how I built these two frameworks, systems, and you get 4 weekly live support calls. One of them was me, which is really, really useful. So, but I appreciate it's not for everyone, and we do want to make sure that it's a good investment for you. We can help you. But I think it's a really good question. So, if you are like right now 4,000, look, at the end of the day, the biggest thing which I'm going to be the biggest justification is really 2 areas. It's going to be money, i.e., if you have more money to invest in deals, then you're going to obviously sell more deals and grow. So number one, getting access to capital is going to be key. So that would be Amazon loans, credit cards, call your credit card providers up, you can get an increase, for example, company loans, for example, lots of different ways you can get PayPal do loans, for example. You can get credit if you're working wholesale, you can do supplier loans or supplier credit. Not perfect, but it does work. So access to capital is really, really key. So that's one. And then the other one is once you've got access to capital, and a really good metric I think about right now is like, the question I'd be asking myself is, am I spending all the money every week, or do I have money left over? Now, if I'm spending all the money every week and I have nothing left over, cool, I want to go out and chase capital down. Go find that. You can do that, not a problem. Now, if you do have money left over, then you probably want to think about, okay, now my problem is I need to get more deals. Why? To take that money, invest it, because unfortunately, money in the bank, as we all know, generates an awful return. But money in Amazon stock, while sometimes it might not be the best return, it's way better than what you're going to get in the bank. Call it, even if it was 10%, you do much better. So I'm not saying you should be getting 10% ROI, but the idea is you want to be getting stock. So the next question comes is, I need more deals. So how do you do that? So a couple of answers could be leads lists, for example. You could share deals with other people, like form a community, or you can get a VA. I go down the VA route. I've built both these businesses off VAs. And if you want to know, in the Fast Track FBA VA Academy, we find, hire, and train virtual assistants for you, and we'll support you for 3 months to make sure they get up to where they need to be. And that's really 10 deals a day you can buy every day, pretty much in your business. I give you all my SOPs, everything we're doing. Yeah, a live weekly support call with my team. Any problems in the first 3 months, you call us. You just drop us a message. We'll jump in. My team literally contact your VA and do retraining. And if you're still not happy, you can get your money back if you're not happy. So no brainer. If the VA quits something, you get your money back, no problem. If the VA quits, you can get a replacement or money back. It's absolutely incredible. So fasttrackfba.com/VA, you can see it's down here. Now, this is, and obviously if you want to book a call in with my team to see if the VA is right for you, that's a good one. But really it's that kind of metric. So get money. If you run out of money, get more money. If you haven't got enough money, then just you need more deals. Now, it gets a bit more complex in the technicalities of it, but that at a fundamental level is what I look at. Money first, and then move over to more deals. And deals are working with other sellers, maybe leads lists, fasttrackfba.com/leads, or then finally VAs. And by the way, there is sourcing software, you can use that. The one thing which I will say is, I'm not saying leads lists and sourcing software are bad, but every 7-figure or 8-figure Amazon seller I know who does online arbitrage, they only have VAs. They don't do leads lists, they don't do sourcing software. So I think sourcing software and leads lists are great. They really help you out. But if you really want to take your VA or your business to the next level, and we're talking like this, then building a team is a requirement. And I was, listening to, I'll create some videos that I've listened to about Alex Hormozy, and he talks a lot about that. Like, really, you're building a system, a process, and and that can operate without you, should we say, only on a few hours a week. And if you can deliver that, then that's a real business. Otherwise, you've got a job. Maybe a glorified job, but it's still a job. So facility BCP, let me know down below if that is helpful. So we've got someone mentioned on Instagram. Parky Claire has joined. Smarty Bookworm has joined. What do we got here? I had several IP issues I'm struggling to resolve from my VA's leads. Any advice best to avoid this if my account is showing the risk of deactivation? Okay, I'm Jack Reese. fasttrackfba.com/tools. Scroll right down to the bottom. You'll see a guy called Jeff. Call him. Really helpful. Otherwise, speak to another company called Seller Basics. We use them. We pay for both of them. Really, really helpful. So I hope that helps. So Seller Basics or Jeff, fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. We use both of them. They're really, really helpful. Parky Claire says, hello, I'm Jack's VA, has hurt his account. Yeah, how do you advise avoiding these pitfalls? Number one, be very strict about what deals they can buy, and then number two is the fact that have an insurance policy. We have the lawyers on retainer. We pay them every single month so that they deal with these IP complaints. And I mentioned in this one, this is all OA 1 million. The US had IP complaints left, right, and center. We have 0 IP complaints. We're pretty good at not buying bad bars, and then when we do get them, we fight them. We fight them like there's no tomorrow. This one's got 3 IP complaints. That's 3 million, 3 IP complaints. So we don't really have that problem there. Let's kind of jump through. Oh my God, sorry. I'm just going to kind of go through. Sonia, hey Sonia. I'm seeing a lot of sellers lowering prices already. Do you adjust your prices at some point during December? Yeah, my God, definitely December. Not now. It's November, Q4. People are buying 100%, but they're not buying like crazy yet. People are like, oh yeah, Christmas is coming. I should really think about presents. Maybe I'll make a list. Don't crash your prices yet. I was like, whoa. The only reason why I would possibly say you might want to crash prices now, number one, the stock selling warehouse at a good price versus historic average. Again, look at Keeper. But number two is the fact that you can recycle that money and get stock back into Amazon quickly enough. I want to give you a quick bit of maths. If I sell a product today, guess what? Majority of our people watching this live they're going to have a 14-day hold period on that money before Amazon disperse it. So that means, let's call it, I'm not going to get that money back to my bank account until the 14th of December. So now on the 14th of December, I've got to buy something, ship it into Amazon and get it sold before the 25th. That's quite a tight ask. So like, if you want to crash prices, fine, but just make sure you're doing it because it's a good price versus historical average. Don't do it because everyone else is doing, because you're not going to be able to recycle that money before Q4. We've just done the maths on that. You can understand that one. So I hope that makes sense. It's a great question, Sonia. Really good. Don't follow the crowd. Do what you think is right. Look at the Keeper chart. Do your analysis. Understand when's the best time to sell. Trust me, I know a lot of people will literally hold until the 22nd, 23rd, 23rd, and then like the prices are really high. That's where they make all the money. Parky Claire said, this is so interesting. Thank you, FBA Gangster. How do you fight the IPs? Speak to Jeff or Seller Basics. I cannot stress that enough. It's Jeff or Seller Basics. That's what you need to do. Let's kind of jump through. Fizzy Jizzy. What a name, Fizzy Jizzy. Just want to say hi. In the UK, what's the most cost-effective maximum size a box can weigh? Is it 16K or anything plus you charge more? Yeah, I think it is 16K. They charge you top up, but like, I think you can go up to like 24. Don't quote me. If anyone knows, put it down in the comment. If anyone knows, put it down in the comments. I think it's 24. By the way, I don't really do much prep. I have 6 admin VAs for a reason, and I have a prep center, so they do it all. But like my prep center do like what goes in the box. But really, I think 16K is the max without having to put a heavy weight. But you can go higher, but you are charged more, and sometimes it's worth it because you can fit it all in one box rather than 2. Again, my thing does it. Here we go. Facebook user. Sorry, I'm going to come to your Facebook thing. 23 kilograms, they said. So Facebook user, thank you so much. I really, really like that. So Fizzy Jizzy, I hope that makes sense. Yes, you are charged more. Sometimes it's a balancing act. I hope that makes sense. Martin Brown on Instagram said, couldn't go ahead. Martin Brown, let me know, couldn't go ahead about what? Let's jump over to Facebook. Yeah, so here we go. 23K max size, 15K needs a label. Let's jump over to a Facebook user. Just want to say thank you very much to Facebook user. Oh my God, need coffee. Hopefully you can understand I'm talking a lot. Talk. If you've got questions, drop them down below, guys. I will get them answered. Yeah, Jamie Edge 01 said 22, 23 is a cap for normal size box via UPS partner. Yeah, completely agreed. Thank you, Jamie. Martin, I will read that up above. I will figure it out. Gonna get confusing. Martin, I can't see a question. It didn't show up. Martin, if you could just type it again or like screenshot. You can't really screenshot. Yeah, Martin, I can't see your question. Sorry. It just says rest of the messages above. I can't see one. Let's go through. Facebook user. Are you based in the UK but selling in the US? I encountered issues when creating a US account. My business is based in the UK, but they wanted a business address, which I do not have there. Yeah, really, really great question. So, by the way, this one is a UK-based limited company. It's obviously UK. I am a UK national. I have this British passport, and you can probably tell by my voice. I have quite. I don't think I'm quite American. It's quite English. And the other one is this one here. That's a US company. Now, we created an LLC in the USA, and obviously I did all that remotely. And if you're interested, I did document the entire process, and I created a course, cost about £97. Fasttrackfba.com, go to resources, courses, and there's a course called Getting Started on USA. It's literally my exact step-by-step process of how I built that. Like, the underlying corporate structure, the tax structures, who I use my accountants, considerations you need to have as like how to set up a bank account remotely, how to do the incorporation, how to do EIN, tax, ITIN, all the stuff you need to do to get yourself ready to create an Amazon selling account. Now, don't get me wrong, you can create an Amazon selling account with a UK limited company in the US, absolutely fine. I know people who've done it, but the biggest problem you're going to get if you're doing OA is the fact that when you try and go to OA sellers, or should you say retailers within the US, they're going to ask you for your address, and guess what's going to happen? They don't have the option to choose billing address outside of the US. Like, it doesn't exist. Like, it's only America, and the net result is that you'll never get the card transaction through because your billing address is outside the US and they don't have the functionality on their website to accept it. Like 60 is about 66% of all suppliers we had this problem with when we did the research, hence why we created the corporation structure. The other one I'd think about is hopefully you're going to build this business for the long term. It's not going to be like I'll just do some trading today and 2 months later I'll finish. No, you're going to be building this for a couple of years at least. And if you're going to do that, a couple of things you really want to think about. Number one, the US has great cash back, and being a US company really makes it a lot easier because you're a US entity, should we say. But number two, the biggest one, in America, they love debt. They absolutely love debt. And if you know, like I built a £3 million business here with no money. So I can do it again here, and I can use other people's money. Now, if someone's giving me £1 million and I can get let's call it 10% in a year on it, that's 100,000 for free. Like, at the end of the day, that's what I'm really trying to think about. I'm trying to think of a long-term game, building corporate structures, trying to build different entities up, trying to use, thinking about like, other people's money, other people's time. VAs, Fast Track FBA, fasttrackfba.com/VA. Our VA Academy is about leveraging other people's time, that's using staff, other people's money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad talks about this all the time. And by the way, this is what I teach in the Seller Academy. So I'd really recommend like thinking about the long-term game. And if you're interested in that course I created about how I did this, fasttrackfba.com/resources, check that out. Let's keep going through. Hey Tom, just a quick one. How do we go about missing items after shipment is closed? What's the correct way to proceed with this? You should be able to do reconciliation. So once the shipment's been received or closed, you should be able to do reconcile. You need to send them the invoices. Delivery receipts don't count. You have to go to the manufacturer or whatever and say, can I have an invoice, please? They'll send you an invoice and send them proof of that purchase. And then number two, make sure that your box weights are correct to what you actually ship. So if you ship 10 items that weigh 1 kilogram, and by the way, if you're being lazy, because I know a lot of people do this, they might go, box weight, yeah, we'll make it like 5 kilograms or something. Or maybe because you're worried about this 23 max kilogram, you're like, oh, you know what, they're 1 kilogram each, and I'll put 24 in and just say it's 23. But if you do that and they miss one, you're never going to get it back because your weights are off. So you've got to make sure your weights are correct to what's in the box. You've got to actually weigh it, and then you can do what's known as a reconciliation. If, by the way, you've got the evidence and you know that the weights add up and you've got the documented evidence of like the invoice, and they keep sending it back to you, you can reply back and say, can you please escalate this to a manager? But don't do that unless you are completely fine. Like, you know everything. Like, if everything's right, fantastic. And if you've got the evidence and you can prove it, fine. But don't escalate just because like you feel bad, because they're going to go, no. And then they'll just start seeing this person escalates all the time. We're not going to keep escalating. So I hope that makes sense. Rest of the message above. Parky Claire says, love coffee. I love coffee. It's all about love coffee. I want to drink some more coffee. I'm talking too much. I went for a run before this. Nearly killed me. Right. Jamie Edge 01. I sent 4 units in the box. Amazon says they only got 2 units refused to refund. I have invoice photos of stock at my address. Is there any to get my money back? I have been refused. Yeah, number one, just check the weights, the shipping weights. The UPS should scan it in as well. And then the final one is reply back and say, can you escalate it to a manager, please? That would generally work. Worst case scenario, you can do I think it's Jeff at Amazon.com or managing director at Amazon.co.uk. But I would probably just reply back and say, can you please escalate this to a supervisor or manager, please? That'd be my next point of call. It's a pain, but just make sure you got everything documentation, cross the T's and dot the I's. Hey Tom, do you think there is a ceiling to OA? Interested in your thoughts on both the USA and UK market. Great question. When I first started about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I did the 1 million in 18 months challenge. And I generally thought about 1 million would be the limit. And do you know what we learned on that 1 million journey? That we have like the Hut Group. You know, these guys are massive in the UK, by the way. They represent like a massive number of suppliers. They're like a big kind of entity who own lots of brands that you know. So long story short is that they banned us, and we were spending 15,000, 20,000 a week in them. And I was like, oh my God, we've just lost one of the biggest suppliers in the UK who were going to buy like my protein they were doing, and they banned us, and we're on this road to 1 million. Like, how are we going to do it? And you know what? Like now with them banned, we still do 3 million. And like, by the way, like not last week, 2 weeks ago, we had our biggest purchases ever. By the way, it wasn't Black Friday. It was just like a standard week in November, like middle of November. We spent £75,000 in 1 week, which is incredible. We ran out of money. Like we couldn't buy any more. We ran out. And the team were like, yeah, we've run out. I was like, oh my God. So in the yes, there is a ceiling. Of course there is. But like, I think that ceiling's so high that 50 million put out there in the UK, possibly even higher. Like, let's say for example, if you're spending let's say for example, I'm spending 1 million with, I don't know, some company, they'll probably notice that, and they'll either ban me or they'll probably say, hey, you're spending a lot of money with us, can we do even more business with you? And I'd be like, sure. It's either going to go one or two ways. That's it. And they'll ban you because they don't want to work with resellers, or they'll work with you a lot more and they'll try and keep you. And I think that's it. And the one thing which I'll say is, like, I know people in the US right now, and I've interviewed them and I've met them personally, who are doing 8 figures a year. And by the way, doing OA, and they only sell sneakers. Only sneakers, and they do 10 million a year. You're like, that's incredible. By the way, they're like, we can do so much more in sneakers. And they know people who are doing way more than them in other categories. So like in the UK, big, but in the US, much, much bigger. So ceiling, yeah, I think there will be a ceiling. Of course there is. You can't be bigger than Amazon's market cap. But do I think we'll ever reach it? Hell no. I think that's a limiting belief. Don't have that. That's a really bad thing. I hope that makes sense. Great question. Absolutely love that question. Really, really good question. Facebook user 23K. If anyone wants to know maximum shipping weight, 15K is the highest you can ship. Over that, you need a label to say warning, heavy. 23K, I think you get more. FBA Gangster said, wow. I know. Absolutely amazing. Honestly, I meet some really interesting people on my journey, and I really love it. I think it's fascinating. And I won't lie, like when someone told me, like, hey, I've got a friend who does like 10 million a year selling sneakers, I was like, that's crazy, absolutely crazy. I was like, I need to meet this guy. And by the way, we've done videos with him. It's on the YouTube. Really fascinating. But yeah, and he knows people who does bigger. So I know people. I know people do Amazon only up to 60 million, like Amazon Lit. They're really good. I know people who do distribution and Amazon to like 200 million. I've met them. I've met people doing the UK probably like, I don't know the exact numbers, probably anywhere between like 200 to half a billion. Like, but that's like lots of different platforms. So you just meet people. It's great, interesting. But Nike sneakers seem to get counterfeit claims from buyers a lot. Agreed. Make sure you have good invoices. That's really important. By the way, we get counterfeit claims all the time. We just have good invoices and good IP people. Works really well. Parky Claire says, great info. Cool. Thank you, Parky Claire. Bruno Anderson. If you go over 15 KD, you need to add a label, and the max is 23. Thank you so much. And the dimension of the boxes can't be over 65 each size. Yeah, do you know what was really funny? Like, probably about 2 years ago, we used to get pictures, like, Amazon used to say the box is too big, and we would go back and be like, can you please prove it? And they would like literally have the tape measure, and it'd be like 64.9. And we're like, the picture says it's under. They're like, oh yeah, sorry. So if sometimes you get it where they say the box is too big, and you do have to go back and do it. So you have to ask them proof of evidence. They send you a picture, which is interesting. Noshi92 joined. Hey Noshi, what have we got now? Gigs. Hey Gigs, hey Tom, I'm doing OA this Q4 and hit my first 10K sales month. Woohoo! Honestly, big round of applause for you, 5-figure Amazon seller. This is now on your way to 6-figure a year Amazon, 5-figure a month, 6-figure a year. Actually, hashtag excited. By the way, like, this is a journey we've all been through. Like, don't compare yourself to me, because I was where you were a few years ago. And when I joined, some other people, like, they were like way ahead of me. So, honestly, top work. Let's go through. So but I'm worried about hitting the VAT threshold and significantly reducing my profits. Any advice? Okay, really, really good. I'm going to quickly just load it up here. I want to make sure I get the right ones. So, Gig, do it right now. Load up YouTube just into another tab, and there we go. There we go. Cool. So, I want you to just go to my channel and type in the name Daniel. You'll see 3 videos, and generally I think 2 of them are about the same. Oh no, yeah, you'll see 2 videos. Sorry, I don't know which one. There's one of them not kind of launched, should we say? One is called. I need to find out which one that is. Right, one's called "Successful Amazon Seller Stories." Daniel Gilmore. Watch that. By the way, he had exactly the same question as you. He purposely stayed below the VAT threshold, and listen to his story. Absolutely love it. Really, really good. Now, the other one I recommend is. I'm just gonna have a look. Oh, they both launched. So we had 400,000 in sales, or the other one is earn 801,000 in profits. And I think they're the same video. Don't quote me, but that is the same interview with Daniel, who went over the VAT threshold and then talked about his experience going over it, what his thoughts were before and what his life is like now after. Actually, he does better after that threshold, but like I can't do it better than him. I really would recommend watching that video. Daniel Gilmore, I think he's a great guy. Like I've interviewed him many times and met him many times, never in person, but honestly, really good Amazon seller, smart guy, and I think you can learn a lot from watching those interviews. So yeah, check out Daniel. Just type in my, Fast Track FBA YouTube channel, search within my channel, Daniel. Check that out. But I think like it will reduce your profits. It's just a rite of passage, and then you can come up and be a 7-figure Amazon seller. Woo! Hire some VAs. FastTrackFBA.com/VA Academy if you're interested. 3 months, no questions asked, guarantee. If you've got any problems. So let's kind of go through. Facebook user. I photograph the units when packaged and use it as proof of additional invoices, and it usually gets invoices. Yeah, agreed. By the way, if you want to know UK, Kevin Blackburn, systemized fulfillment, he video cameras the boxes being packed. So if you get this problem, what you can do is you just message him and he'll send you a video of it being packed and obviously sealed, and then send that to Amazon. I think you've got like 99 or 100% refund rate. So yeah, really good. Take photographs. It's hilarious because what you could do is you could take photographs after you sent the box when there's a problem. I'm not saying you should, but you could. So that could be an option, but yeah, well done. Honestly, really, really good. Tom Andrews mentioned, and then if you've got any questions on Instagram, drop them down. If you're on Instagram, drop any questions. I will answer them. I'm just kind of getting through. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying the live, give me a big thumbs up. Everyone loves, or a love heart. Love heart. If anyone loves it, love heart. Or like a like, thumbs up. I do love them. If you're here, I do see them. They do come in. I can have a little icon up there. You can't see it, but I can. Do hit the love heart. Do hit the like. I do absolutely love it. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it there. Woohoo! So that's fine. Cool. So let's kind of go through Tom. What software would you recommend? I have Seller Amp and Keeper. Is there anything else I need? I feel I might need some software to help me show my net profit and gross profit. Yeah, like look, at the end of the day, do those 2, get selling some stuff. And to be honest, you don't really need net profit and gross profit stuff right away until probably you've got like a couple of sales under your belt at least. You can just kind of put them back in the calculator and see what they sold at. But I think my advice to you is we use STK, fantastic. If I was going to be you, what would I do in my situation? FastTrackFBA.com/tools, TOOLS. And if you go to do seller board first, we have a 2-month free trial with my affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything. If you go direct, you get a 1-month free trial, but with mine, you get 2 free months free. Try that. That's going to give you 2 months of free P&L software that will help you with net and gross profits. Just get used to using that. That's 2 months. That's really good. And then once you've done that, the next one you want to do is, maybe try FastTrackFBA.com/tools and then go to Seller Toolkit. We use that as well. Actually, we use both of them. And that will give you another like 15 days free trial with that as well. So I'd probably do like both of them, and that will give you like 2.5 months free. And then the idea is you'll probably have enough profits to cover the cost of it. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But I like generally look at the end of the day, money invested in tools is okay, but you really want money invested in profitable stock because that's where you make your money. It isn't like, you know, you're going to hear people like, you need this tool, you need this tool, you need this tool, you need this tool, you need to buy this, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like, you need a VA to start with. You don't need a VA to start with. You don't need all of these tools. Keep it simple. You want to invest your money in profitable stock. You don't want to be investing in all these other things. So I just kind of stress that. I think that's a really important point. Let's jump over to the gram. People on Instagram, I've got some questions coming in. FBA Gangster said, but some sites only give email receipts and not invoices. Yeah, you're right. You have to email them. You have to go like, hi, customer services. I need a VAT invoice or like an invoice, please. Can I have it? Like, I would really check, you know, just chase them down, like really chase them down. If you're still not sure, ask lots of people, hey, does this site give us invoices or something? FBA Gangster, thumbs up. Give thumbs up. Love it. If you're liking the live, give us a like heart, love. You know, if you're on Instagram, you can give me 100%, a fire. I'm just kind of doing it myself. That's fine. Jamie Edge01 said, do I need to go on UPS site collection history to find the weight of the parcel sent to Amazon? This is regards to 2 missing units. I would, yeah. I don't. It's been a long time since I've done this because my team are really good at doing it. But like, yeah, I would. I think you just put in your tracking number and it will show you the weights on them. Don't quote me on that one. Like, you go to them, you put in your tracking number, you can see it through Amazon Seller Central, and you can see the weights. And obviously, you're going to have the weight that you put in Seller Central when you shipped it. So that should be the correct weight. Obviously, UPS will do the correct weight. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go onto the revenue calculator, and you're going to put the ASINs of the products you shipped, and you're going to add up all the weights of them because the revenue calculator tells you what the weights are. And hopefully you're going to see there's a big discrepancy between what you shipped, the weight you shipped, the weight UPS recorded, and the weight that they checked in and say, hey, something disappeared. And by the way, I can prove to you that UPS had it at the right weight and you had it the wrong weight. It's gone missing. And I think it's classified under, it's like when it's in UPS's care, Amazon take care of it. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, I think it's UPS website. So great question, Jamie Edge 01 on the gram. Guys, if you've got any more questions, do let me know. I'm going to drink some more coffee because I absolutely love coffee. I'm drinking a lot. Oh, someone's buzzing at my door. We're about to find out who that is. More coffee. Someone says here, how do you feel about the toy category? What are your preferred categories? I do like anything that makes money, really. Toy category, I don't mind. Oh, my food's arrived. That's good. My food's arrived. Happy days. I order ready meals if you want to know. Woohoo! So, how do I feel about the toy category? I don't really feel bad about it. I don't feel positive. I think at the end of the day, like, I don't think we buy much in the toy category anymore. I really don't. Maybe like 10, 15%. Why? Because I think it's quite a saturated thing. Like, I remember when I first started, everyone talked about like, hey man, you need to buy toys. Buy toys, health and beauty, and something else. And then that's what everyone did. And there was still profit to be made, of course, but like, it's quite saturated. And we found other categories that we sell more in and we do better in. Why? Generally, the harder the category, and I talk about sneakers. Sneakers is quite hard, lots of variation, lots of refunds, returns. The harder the category, the more people who kind of jump into it, don't do it right, lose some money, and then get out and try and do something simple. Toys are very simple. But just remember that barrier to entry, that kind of like, when other people don't like it, there's an opportunity for you to profit. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and that's the net result. So just be mindful of that. Guys, I'm going to share that story that I shared at the very beginning of the live, because I appreciate there's a lot more people on now. Last week, we had a big mess up with our cash flow, like big mess up. We had a bounced payment, £150,000 from Amex, supposed to came through. Yeah, 150,000 from Amex. One second. Take a photo. Porfa. Just talking to my girlfriend. She's like, we've only got 6 food, doesn't that? So we had 150,000 from Amex that was supposed to be taken out of our bank account, and the net result was that we only had 147 in the bank account. Now, I checked it on Friday. I had an email twice, because obviously when they take a direct debit payment in the UK, they check it in the morning, and then when it doesn't happen, they try again a few hours later, which was fine. But what happened was that we'd done the cash flow correct. On Monday, we'd done the cash flow correct. But my team had put in the Amazon loan, which we had applied for, but we haven't actually got accepted. So I went back to them and said, guys, you can't put the loan in. We haven't been accepted yet. Like, it's not coming in. So they went back and did it. Now, the person who was doing the cash flow was training, and the person who was supposed to be checking didn't check the second version. And I literally looked on the Friday, I looked back at the cash flow that we had redone on the Monday, and you could see clear as day, Thursday, Friday, we were going to go into the negative, i.e., we were going to go below 0 in our available balance. like we're gonna have no money in the bank account. And it's just like we had an amazing system, cash flow sheet, and it worked. If anyone's interested, YouTube, check out my cash flow sheet. It's cost 30 quid. It's like we still use it to this day. It's amazing. It really works. But it only works if you actually do it. And what happened is that number one is the trainee didn't realize the problem. Number two is that the admin system was training didn't check it properly. Number three, my manager didn't check it, and I didn't check it because I was like, wow, it's like, I checked the first one, I spotted the first problem, I didn't check the second one. And I think, look, what can I recommend for you guys if you are like right now listening to this? Number one, I think definitely need to have cash flow in place. Like, download my cash flow sheet. Like it worked. It solved me the problem. But like number two is the fact that your systems in your business are only as good as your ability to, should we say, deliver on them and to bring them to life and the standards you adhere to. And unfortunately, my business right now, we didn't hold the standards. Like we really didn't. My team slipped, and I've had quite aggressive conversations this morning with my team and my managers about like, look, this is not good enough. It really isn't. And the reason why, luckily enough, Amazon are going to take the payment in Amex is going to take the payment in 5 days, and we won't get any black marks. But I said to them, my business runs off credit, and if we get black marks on our account, we get reduced credits. And what does that mean? My business can't operate where it needs to be. What does that mean? It means people lose their jobs. I said that's not acceptable. I said, Tony Robbins talks about it. You get what you tolerate, and at the end of the day, like beforehand, we were tolerating a substandard, accounting and cash flow metrics in our business, and we weren't checking it when we were doing it. So like right now, we're going back through, making sure it's even clearer. But number two, we're saying your job is to check this, and if you don't check it and there's a problem, then that is your job on the line, because this is a very fundamental level. Your job is to make sure that this business can operate, and if you don't do that, that's negligence and that's gross misconduct. And like we're just really, really challenging that. So just want to kind of share that story with you guys. And I think the real, I love Tony Robbins. I've met the guy live, or seen him live. In a business mastery event, really good. But he talks about it. You get what you tolerate. And if right now there's something in your business you're not happy with, ask yourself the question: am I tolerating a substandard, a substandard result for my team, or what's going on? And it could be your prep center, it could be your accountant or something. Someone who spoke to me today, they had an accountant. They were like, the accountant didn't do what they said they were going to do, and I paid them for it, and then I kept using them because they owed me so much money. I was like, you should have just run away, like cut the losses, move out. But as a result, they kept doing it wrong. The accountant shut their business and left this guy with a massive back bill, and he had to shut his company down. And that was like a real shame. So like, again, you get what you tolerate. Ask yourself the question: am I tolerating a substandard result? Let's go through the final questions, and then I'm going to wrap up. I do have another meeting in 2 minutes. So that's the hashtag. Time to down some coffee. Right, I found a product that sells about 100 times a month with an ROI 50%, but the profit is very low, 90% is still a product worth investing. So I wouldn't. I think your profit's too low. Like, you generally want to look at a couple of quid at least. I get your point. 50% ROI, fantastic. I probably wouldn't. I'd want to do more. So I kind of hope that makes sense. That'd be what I'm after. Yeah, so I hope that kind of answers your question. I'd do more. Oh, and then my live video is paused. Am I cancelling? So I'm just checking. Here we go. I think I'm still live. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. What's the other one? So we got here. Hi, Tom. I love your lives. They're so beneficial. Can I request you to continue doing them at 4 p.m. UK time instead of 3 p.m. What's the time now? Oh, it's 4 p.m. Cool. I'll probably have to do them later. My only problem comes is my girlfriend works in the same, she's here in the same thing, and she has phone calls as well, so she's like quiet now. So let's do the final one, but I will see what I can do. Thank you, Bina. And then final one is, we had it over here. Do you dump every penny back in inventory? Yeah, you don't make money in, unfortunately, but business bank accounts don't pay very good interest. Amazon inventory, even at 10%, is much better. So FBA gangster, yes, 100%, we put it all back in again. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to love you and leave you. I want to say thank you very much for your time. Stay safe, and I'll catch up with you next week. Or actually, I'll be live the rest of the week, so stay safe. Bye.